Now you have coming up at the 157-pound weight class, Michigan State's Joe Johnson comes out to wrestle Purdue's Doug Welch, one of the Welch twins.
One of them, and look at, you see right there.
Welch has dominated in duels this season, posting a 5-2 record.
Coming off last season, making the NCAA championships was Doug Welch of Purdue. Joe Johnson placing 6th at the Cleveland State Open. So that'll do something for his resume.
This is the 157-pound weight class.
So 157. After this, we head into the break.
Wrestling for your Michigan State Spartans, Joe Johnson.
Michigan State leads Purdue 9 points to 8, Eric. And you mentioned every point throughout tonight is very, very crucial to the final outcome.
So 1 minute is up. We head to the center of the mat for the 157-pound weight class.
The 157-pound weight class is sponsored by Steve Wheeler. Steve's a proud supporter of Michigan.
So Welch immediately in on that front headlock, underhook on that right side. Now Joe Johnson, this is where he likes to be, in that Russian tie on that left arm of his opponent. And he goes right back to it. So collar tie for Welch, collar tie for Joe Johnson.
Any kind of hand position right now is crucial.
So this is going to be a swing match. Very important heading into the break. If you look at it from either team's standpoint, Purdue wins this match, they head into halftime winning the duel. Michigan State wins this match, they head into halftime winning. So going into halftime, you would much rather be up. So this is a very bright spot for both teams as they look to potentially head into the locker room at intermission with the lead.
And Michigan State looks to regain some of that momentum that they opened this duel up with. A little was shifted over to Purdue, but looked to go into the halftime leading the momentum and the duel itself.
So now Welch gets the takedown, has that leg in, figure four, the right leg of Joe Johnson. So quick recap, we had Mitch Rogeliner win at 125, throw it over to Purdue. Purdue wins at 33, 41 Michigan State wins, 49 Alex Griffin of Purdue wins. So it's only right, following suit, Joe Johnson should, on paper, pick up the win here, back and forth.
Unfortunately, Eric, the stars don't always align, so we'll have to see what happens here.
We have to finish the match, right?
Exactly.
So stalemate called.
Looks like Johnson's in some pain there.
Yeah, looks like the left leg, favoring that left knee. We'll go with the hockey.
Lower body
injury. You a hockey fan? You got excited there.
I'm a pretty big hockey fan.
So Welch starts back in the first period on the top position. $18 seconds left here in the first period. Only points coming from Welch's takedown. The riding time.
It's entering 1 minute 30 seconds now in favor of Welch. And that is the end of the period.
Green's choice. Green looking to start this period in the down position. And as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I agree. After giving up almost a minute and 30 seconds of riding time, I understand so early in the match you have to go down, but Joe Johnson showing some struggle in the neutral position, so I'm guessing that's why they had to put him down.
Especially with that lower body injury, he might have a hard time building up to get out too.
Right. So that is the puzzles, the pieces of the puzzle all have to add up. So Welch starting with the tight waist on that left side, chopping the right arm of Joe Johnson. Now switches to a power half. Looks like Welch has the right leg in, throwing the left leg in, now has only that right leg in. So Joe Johnson doing a good job keeping those hips up. This is where you want to be. You don't want to be flattened out. That's where all your energy gets taken out in the down position.
And as you can see, Johnson's attempting to build up there too, but Welch has got him.
The cradle looks like from this angle, not locked, stalemate called. Joe Johnson back to the down position.
I wonder if the wrestlers are having a hard time hearing the advice of their coaches with the gymnastics meet going on right behind us.
So we'll keep that in mind, but Joe Johnson gets the 1 point for the escape, and they are having trouble. Not only the wrestlers, but you think about the referees as well. The referee ate a couple of cautions because with this music going on, it was tough for the wrestlers to hear his whistle. So one of them jumped the gun. Referee ended up eating the caution. So pretty tough to hear in Jennison Fieldhouse as we have a great environment.
Fantastic intensity.
Not only for this wrestling duel, but for the gymnastics meet between
Iowa and Michigan State.
I was going to say Iowa State. Thank you for coming in and covering me.
Always here for you, partner.
So still 2-1 in this second period. But with that riding time at 2:25, Joe Johnson has to start thinking about stealing takedowns at some point.
As time runs out on the second period, with Welch leading Johnson 2 points to 1, Eric.
So Welch chooses the down position.
Welch already leads the riding time with 2 minutes and 24 seconds riding on Johnson.
So curious to see what's going to happen here with Joe Johnson. How long is he going to ride? Or is he going to elect just to let Welch go, come up to their feet, start looking for the takedowns, and now comes out front to the Merkle. And this is dangerous position. This is where you could potentially give up 2 instead of the 1. So now Joe Johnson has that Merkle situation, and you have to be to the close side. You can't be to that far side on the headlock, and that's where Joe Johnson is. So Welch is in great position to get the reversal here and could potentially have a crackback roll here. Peterson type situation, has that leg of Joe Johnson, that wrist, and now Joe Johnson's in on the side headlock, and referee should start counting. So Welch gets the 2 points for the reversal with 58 seconds left. And that all stemmed from Joe Johnson coming out front looking for that Merkle situation, but he switched from the close hip to the far hip, and that's where Luke Welch was able to get his hips out and gain position.
36 seconds remaining in the third period, Eric. Johnson looks like he's struggling to even build anything up. And like you said, this is going to be huge if Purdue could seal this one off going into halftime with the lead.
So that looks like it's going to do it here at 157 pounds.
And yes, it does. As Purdue's Doug Welch defeats Joe Johnson by decision. And going into the halftime, the break, Purdue leads Michigan State 11 points to 9 after the Spartans jumped out to a great lead to start off.